So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug says California on it, and I am using this today because it is another hot, humid California reminding day today. We've been having this going on for 2 or 3 days now, almost a week, something like that, which is good for the plants, not so good for me. I don't know where I got this coffee mug. It was probably one of those that, either my husband got it for me or it was one of those that was a found mug. We found it in an old apartment or a house that somebody left behind. But I do like the little palm trees in the California. In some ways I miss California, and then we hit this hot, humid summer in Georgia, and I'm like, oh, God, thank God I don't live in California, because it's hot and humid most of the time in California. Anyway, today's tea is the Miracle Tree Moringa Organic Tea Mango. This is a tea that I liked, and it's been sitting here while I prepped my face and everything, so it should be pretty much where it's going to be. I mean, it might get a little stronger before the end of the video, but let's go ahead and give her a sip and we can get started. Went a little heavy on the sugar. It's becoming a theme now, isn't it? You do get the mango in there. It's more of a hint. It's not really a very strong mango, but it's a very good tea. It's a very good tea. Today we are doing a video on diet culture versus real life, the things that diet culture tells you and the things that are actually true, because diet culture lies to us all. But before we get into all of that, let's get into our old and new that we'll be using today. For new, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette that my daughter picked up for me for Mother's Day. And newish to the old, I'm going to use my Tribe by Juvia's Place. This is a beautiful palette with a number of gorgeous mattes and greens. And I want the greens and the blues is what I'm aiming for at this point. Old, I have these two. I believe one is Finding Ferdinand and the other one is from OFRA. So I have this. This is a little Makeup Forever empty palette that someone sent me, and I've been trying to figure out what to use it for, and I ended up using it for these two blushes. This is the OFRA, I believe it's called Melon. This is from Finding Ferdinand, I believe it's called Skinny Dip. And then this is my OFRA mini highlighter in Rodeo Drive. I had to use the box that this came in, the packaging for this, for another blush that would not fit in here. So, but anyway, so those are going to be our old. Also old will be the Ocean Mist Mineral Foundation in Buff, because it is so hot and because I'm having some issues with just my skin not being happy with a bunch of stuff on it. The powder is going to be light. We will spray it over with our Mario Badescu as usual. But yeah, so we're going to use this as our foundation today. Also in the new is the Rodeo Glamo Lash Mascara that I got in my Mother's Day glossy box. And the Nutrishine, Babo Nutrishine Hydrating Lip Luminizer, also from my glossy box. Haven't decided on a whole heck of a lot of anything else. Like the rest of my lipstick, this will go over something. However, that's the new and the old for the most part. Plus, we're going to have our usuals, my NYX Control Freak and stuff like that. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. I kind of sort of have an idea of what I want to do. A little bit, sort of, kind of. Alrighty then, so let's get started. A lot of these things, I'm not going to even... I'm going to try to not take a long time in discussing them, because they, one, I have a lot of them. I have about 10, I think, close to a dozen, somewhere in there. Two, a lot of these we've already actually discussed. However, I think it is always a good idea to sometimes, reiterate, to remind. We'll go with that. And we are going to start with this lighter color Masai in the Juvia's Place palette, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Coro, and we're going to put that under our brow. The first one of those lovely things that diet culture tells you is that thin is healthy. Well, thin is not necessarily healthy. We all know people who have, or have met people that have suffered from eating disorders based on the whole thing that thin is healthy, and the thinner they are, the better off they'll be. And they're not. Anorexia, you get really thin with anorexia, and guess what? That's not healthy. So we all know thin is not healthy. Healthy is whatever fits for your lifestyle, your body, and that doesn't require you to take a whole lot of medications if you can avoid it. I mean, if you have certain issues, like if you're overweight, you're more than likely going to end up having to take blood pressure pills, and that's fine. If you have other disorders that need medication, then you're going to need to take that. And it may affect your weight, but you know what? Thin is not healthy. Healthy is what it is for you and your body. Healthy is you being able to get around and do what you need to do, having the best life that you can, and doing the best for yourself, your family, and your body. And that does not necessarily mean thin. For a lot of us, that thin is something we just can't do anymore. For whatever reason, we've had kids, we have other diseases that make it hard to get around and move and do whatever. So thin is not necessarily healthy. So don't let anybody tell you that it is. I'm going to take this out and take a look at these colors really quickly. I think the ones I want to use in here are kind of on the dark side. They are. I am going to use this color, the Sight, and put it on the inner part of my lid, and then I'll have to think about it. Another thing that diet culture will tell you is that food is good or bad, clean or dirty. That's not true. You all know I don't believe that one. Food is food. This is from the Game of Thrones palette. That's a pretty color. We have some stuff going on in the back. Anyway. So if you hear a lot of banging, somebody back there is doing construction work or something. That's pretty. I can live with that. She's dark, but I like her. She's very pretty. Anyway, food is food. There's no good or bad about it. It's energy, it's comfort, it's all the things that food is. It is not, there's no such thing as clean or dirty. There are foods that are quote unquote empty calories, meaning they don't have a whole lot of nutrition, but that doesn't make them bad foods because we enjoy them. As long as you enjoy your food, it is good food, and it is calories, and it is energy, and it is whatever you need it to be at that time. It's food. We should not label food in that way. I need to pick my next color. I don't know which one I want to use. Okay, so there's this one. And there's this one. I think I'm going to use this one. They're both very pretty, but I'm going to use this one. And that is from the Juvia's palette. So another thing that diet culture will tell you is that food is only for fuel. We all know that that's not right. Oh wow, that's very close to the one I just put on. It's a little darker, not by much. We all know, there's very few cultural celebrations that don't somehow have food involved. In the U.S., 4th of July, barbecues, Thanksgiving, turkey, Christmas, Holy Cow Feast. Well, Thanksgiving has the same thing. But, very few holidays and celebrations around the world do not involve food. Now, there are a few that involve food in a negative way. In other words, you fast, or you cut something out like Lent, or I believe, is it Ramadan? But most celebrations, I mean, you know, Oktoberfest, bratwurst, beer. Most of these celebrations have food. So we all know that food is more than fuel. And anybody who tells you that food is fuel and should be treated like fuel is, you know, not really, in my view, being all that honest, because food is more than fuel. We have it in every celebration. Not every, but you know what I'm saying. I said it. I've said it more than once. We'll move on. I'm going to take another lighter green out of this Juvia's Place palette. It's a matte. It's called Tootsie. And I think I'm going to put that on the inner corner a little bit and brush it over that darker color and lighten it up. So another thing you'll hear in diet culture is you should have a cheat day. Well, if you are eating what you need, oh, that definitely helped. That made it so there are two colors on that lid instead of one color that's just gets darker. Does that make sense? Anyway, if you are eating, you're just eating, you shouldn't have to have a cheat day. If you're eating the food that you enjoy, which is what you should do, you shouldn't even need a cheat day. Why would you need a cheat day? Cheat days are a way to deny yourself the rest of the week. And you all know I do the rest of the week. We're going to Westeros. That's what it is. You all know I don't believe in doing all that anymore. I believe in eating what you like to eat, eating what you love to eat, and just practicing moderation, which is something I'm working on. So you shouldn't need a cheat day because you're eating the foods that you want to eat. If you're eating the stuff that you love, you shouldn't need a cheat day. The next, I'm going to use this color Frozen North for my crease and out. We'll see how dark she gets on there. Oh, hi, baby. Wow. Wow. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Ah, gorgeous. Another thing that we've discussed that diet culture will tell you is that X is bad for you. Carbs are bad for you. Fat is bad for you. Sugar is bad for you. Etc., etc., etc. The truth is, your body needs every single one of those things. Just in moderation. Anything can be bad for you. You can drink enough water to kill yourself. So anything can be bad for you. Oh God, this color is gorgeous. And that went on like a dream. Oh, that's just so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. We've also learned that there's high protein and low carb diets because carbs are bad for you, quote unquote. And you need carbs, and if you eat too much protein, you could end up with some issues. You could end up with some problems. Now, as a lifter, because I want to build muscle, I am eating more protein. But I'm not necessarily reducing my carbs to do it. I am just making sure that I hit a certain number of protein grams a day. In my case, it is about 100, somewhere in there. It should be higher. However, I have a hard time getting between 100 and 125 grams anyway. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm going to take the black to deepen my crease a little bit. We are going smoky, guys. Smoky. And while I'm on the topic of lifting, one of the other things that you will hear is that, especially if you're a woman, lifting will turn you into a muscle-bound moron. One, just because you're muscle-bound doesn't mean you're a moron. Okay. Two, that's not the way it works for women unless you deliberately work to do that. What lifting does for you is it's what shapes your body. It's what makes you look lean. It's what defines your waist, your arms, whatever. It provides definition. And you do not have to work out to the point where you turn into, where you have a whole huge amount of muscle to if you don't want to. There we go. Not necessary to. You just work it to the point where you want it. I'm going to need something light in the middle of my lid. We are really dark and we need something in there. I am going to brush a little bit of this King's Landing in the middle of my lid. Two other things that actually kind of go hand in hand is that a number on the scale determines your worth. And 5 pounds, 10 pounds overweight is 5 pounds or 10 pounds too many. I'm going to have to do something else. I need something with a little more oomph. I don't know if anybody in here has a little more oomph. I mean, it did lighten it, but... So I'm going to take that color Coral again, that really light color I mixed with the lighter, and I'm going to put that over the top. I think we worry too much about being a specific weight. Oh yeah, I like that. That gave it a bit more brightness. It didn't really change the color much, but it did give it a bit more brightness. Anyway, as I was saying, I think we worry too much about being a specific weight when we should be more worried about how healthy we are. Can we get around? Can we, can we go to the grocery store? Can we do the things that we need to do during our day? Do we enjoy what we're eating? Are we doing daily activity? Are we generally eating healthy? Those are the important things. 5 pounds, 10 pounds. And the only reason I bring this up is because we're heading into summer, and guess what we're seeing a lot of on like Facebook and other places? I need to lose the weight. No, you don't. That 5 or 10 pounds, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. Your weight will adjust 5 pounds, between 3 to 5 pounds during the weight and during any given week. Let it go. You don't need to worry about 5 to 10 pounds. 50 pounds, I can see you being a little concerned. But I'll tell you right now, give me a minute. I'm about 100 pounds overweight. And guess what? I can get around. I can do what I need to do. Would I like to lose that weight? I would like to lose that weight. Am I going to make it my lifetime goal to lose that weight? No. Life is too short to be miserable over 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 100 pounds. If you're not stuck in bed, if you are not suffering, extreme health issues, I have high blood pressure. Guess what? I'm still surviving. I know that that's problematic. However, guess what? People who don't have high blood pressure still get heart attacks, right? So, not as often, granted, but but for you to make that your main concern, no, don't do that to yourself. Enjoy your life. For underneath, I'm going to take, again, I'm going to mix. I'm going to take this dark green, and again, that Coral, and this dark green is called Sand. So sand and Coral, and I'm going to do those under the eyes, and then we'll see how that looks, and I may end up having to change it because we all know sometimes it just don't work out the way you want it to. Another one that I hear a lot of is you need to detox. You need to drink this detox drink. You need to do this detox thing. You need to detox. Sweetie, if your liver ain't working, you need to be in the hospital. You do not need to do detox drinks or anything like that. Your body has that all figured out. All of it. It does what it needs to do on its own. You do not need to do any of that stuff. Those detox things are basically money wasters. They are some way for someone to make a bunch of money off of people who do not know about health and science and their bodies. Your body has several ways to detox. So just let your body do that. Don't go out buying and drinking weird juices or whatever because you need to detox. Because no, you don't. Another one is, as long as you're eating a minimum of 1,200 calories as a woman and 1,600 calories as a man, you're fine. No. When those came out, those numbers are basically for people lying comatose in a bed. They don't do anything. They don't have any activity. Nothing. I don't like that. It's still dark, but I like that. Basically, you should try to get, I'm trying to remember what it's called, TDE. And you can search it up, or I'll try to put a link down below for it. But your TDE will tell you the minimum you need to eat. And it will depend on several things. It'll depend on your weight, obviously, your height, obviously. But it will also depend on your activity level and whether or not you're trying to lose weight or gain muscle or do nothing. And I can guarantee you, if you plug your numbers into a TDE, you are highly unlikely to have a 1,200 calorie TDE. Highly unlikely. Because it's too low. That is way too low. Okay, I think we're done with the eyes. We are dark and green. I'm honestly not seeing a lot of fallout. I am seeing quite a bit of glitter from the more glittery shades, but there's actually no color fallout, if that makes sense. Another thing we see that is actually a result of health culture, we now have kids outside screaming. I apologize. They're out front playing. It's fine. They can scream and play, but just letting you know, that's what the sound is. Nobody's dying. Another thing that we will see, and we see this more from people who have fallen into the hole so much that believe the whole thinness thing so much that when you get a body positivity post anywhere on Facebook, in the news, whatever, they have to come on and say, well, you're just promoting unhealthy lifestyles. No. We're just trying to say that everybody has a body and doesn't deserve to be shamed for it, is what it comes down to. Looking a little... Need a little bit more under the eye since I'm using a powder foundation. I won't be using my banana powder or anything like that to brighten anything. It's a little different when you're using a powder foundation. Just and I'm going to mix a little bit of the Jouer in to golden up my skin in a few places as well. Okay, let's see how that does. The body positivity movement, going back to that, is basically a movement that is trying to teach us that we do not need to be thin. We do not need to meet a particular body standard. Everybody's body is going to be different and we should treat everybody with respect. That's what that movement is all about. It is not promoting unhealthy lifestyles. And in fact, a lot of the people that get yelled at for their quote-unquote unhealthy bodies are probably more active than the people who are yelling at them. So that's not, the body positivity movement is just basically a movement that says we all deserve respect no matter what is the shape and size of our body. Period. That's all it says. It says that how you live and how you eat and everything else is up to you. That's, you know, That's for you to decide. And that people need to stop slamming on other people just because they're big or they don't meet the standards of what somebody else says they should look like or whatever. That's what that says. On those, I have to say that on a lot of those posts, I will come out and tell them that they're wrong. That they don't obviously know nothing about health. They know nothing about weight loss. And they, quite honestly, know nothing about the person that they're telling needs to lose weight. Because that's just not how it works for most of us. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who can lose weight. And because they were able to do it, they assume that everybody can do it. And that's just not the way it is. You can't assume that based on your particular lifestyle or your particular successes that everybody else can do that. So let's stop slamming people for having big bodies and start letting them just live and worry about their own selves while you worry about yourself. That's what the body positivity movement is about. Just let them live. Their body size and shape doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean healthy. It doesn't mean unhealthy. It doesn't mean they're not active. It doesn't mean they don't deserve a cheeseburger. So just stop with the body stuff. Which kind of segues into the next part. Now I'm going to get this is my powder foundation brush. This is my Royal and Langnickel Powder BMD 100. I always use this for my powder foundation. Love it. Anyway, so that all kind of segues into the next thing, which is that a healthy body, for someone to be healthy, means that you have to have a lower number on the scale. Not necessarily. Are you going to tell some of these athletes who do more work than you do, most of them, that they're not healthy? I mean, I'm not even... weight builders are very heavy. They're very bulky. You going to tell that person they're not healthy? They're going to have a much higher number on the scale than you are. Football players, even thinner football players, are full of muscle and all that stuff. You going to tell them they're not healthy? And they work out, pretty much on a daily basis. You think you could survive their camp? You think you could do the activities they do? Don't go with, oh, that's different. No, it's not. Ah! How did that happen? Okay, I'll fix that in a minute. I got green on my chin. How did that happen? We're going to... Alrighty then. Well, that was fun. Let that dry down. I'll let that dry down. Anyway, all of that brings me to the last two things. And that is that you are only worthy of love if you're thin. And only the effort to lose weight is worth your time if you're fat or heavy or overweight or whatever you want to call it. And both of those are wrong. As a human being, you are always worthy of love. Even people we hate are worthy of love, okay? Let's just... I've got more than a few politicians that make me question that. But if you are human, you are worthy of love. Are you? That's beautiful. Okay. Okay. And that matches really nice. This is a good in-between shade for me too. Since I'm in between summer and winter shades, skin tone. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to keep this out now. I think this is going to have to go into my shop by stash at some point because, yeah, we are Starting to have trouble with the weather. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish my face, and we will discuss these last two questions, which are actually kind of the whole point of everything about body culture. I mean, weight loss culture, diet culture, which is basically, to be worthy, you must lose weight and you must be thin. In other words, in diet culture, to be worthy of love, to be a worthwhile human being, you must be miserable. And we'll get more into that after I'm done finishing all of this up. My drama eyes. I might try to tone these down a little bit with just some blending, but we'll see when we get back. Be back in a few minutes. So here's our final look. She is dark and dramatic and green. I did try to do something a little different with the eyeliner. I don't know if you can see it, but I tried to use the Princess Aita gold over the top as part of the eyeliner. Problem was, is I thought of it after I put on the black eyeliner, so it's probably not as clear and bright as it could have been. And it may not even work that well, even if I don't do that, because it would still have to go over another color and still kind of come up a little darker. I think for something like this, I'm going to need, for like a gold or anything like that, I'm going to need like a liquid eyeliner to do that properly. The one thing with the setting spray and eyeshadow is it doesn't always quite come out as dark as your regular liquid eyeliners, most of which I don't like, so it's an issue. It's an issue. Anyway, I do like the look overall, other than the messy second day hair. And the lips are probably just a little too purple, and the cheeks just a little too pink, but other than that, I think we're doing okay. Anyway, to get back to what I was saying, diet culture will tell you that you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of positive attention, you're not worth anything unless you're thin, or if you're heavy, you're trying to lose weight, or whatever. You are always worth being loved and being given positive attention. Always. Always. Jesus taught unconditional love, and he said you can hate the sin. Hate the sin. Be careful about what you choose to be a sin, but hate the sin. But we are always to love the sinner. Now, I'm been sort of on the fence with a few things with my faith and with the Christian religion, especially nowadays. Some of them have gone. Yeah, some of them have gone. But I have still always tried to practice unconditional love, and loving someone regardless of what they look like, what religion they are, who they love, all of that. Diet culture tries to take that away from you. Don't let them take that away from you. It tries to tell you you must do or be all these things, or you must eat this way to deserve love. And that's wrong. We all deserve love, period. And I could probably say that 15,000 different kinds of ways, and it would all come down to that. We all deserve love, period. And one of the reasons I fight so hard against diet culture now is because I was so in it for so many years. And it's still in my head to some degree. I think because we're bombarded with it all the time, and particularly certain parts of the season, we get to, I should say certain parts of the year, we get to New Year's, and all of a sudden we have to make New Year's resolutions about weight. We get towards summer, and all of a sudden we have to make goals to lose weight so that we can wear a bikini. Screw all that. If you want a bikini body, put a bikini on your body. Okay? It doesn't... All that stuff is bullshit, all right? All of it is bullshit. Try to eat healthier. Try to be active as you can in your life. And ignore the rest of it, okay? If you end up with something really serious because of your weight, obviously you're going to have to do something about it. Otherwise, just be you. Just do who you are. Don't worry about size and shape and weight. As long as you're doing your life and you're happy with it, you're able to do the things you want to do, fuck it. Just Be who you are. Remember that you're worthy of love. And all of those messages from diet culture are not set in reality. They are set in money and greed. That's what they are. Anyway, that's it for today, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, I hope that you will subscribe if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload. Currently upload 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, but we do have bonus videos going up all the time. If you're part of my notification squad, you'll want to check your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active. If you choose not to subscribe, well, we would be very disappointed. However, you understand, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but you are always welcome back here because we love having the company. Don't we, Shadow? Hey, don't we love having... He's like, no. Let me go back to sleep. He's like always there now. That's his place to sleep now. Most of the time when I'm filming, I bet you he's back there. So, anyway, you're always welcome to come back here because we love having company unless you're Shadow. And when you do come back again, if you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Even if it's from California. It can also be milk, juice, wine, coffee, whatever you want to bring. But we do hope that you will bring your cup of tea and come back again. Let's give this another taste and see how we're going. I'm hoping the mango is a little stronger, but it is also cooled down considerably. So we'll find out if it's a good cold tea. I don't remember if we found out it was a good cold tea before. Let's give it a taste. The mango is stronger. I'm kind of neutral on it being a good cold tea. Okay, so I think... Okay, so I think it's better as a hot tea. However, it's not bad as a cold tea. It's just not, wouldn't be my favorite way to drink it. It's a good cold tea. It's an okay cold tea. We'll go with this okay cold tea. Yeah, I think I much prefer this tea hot. Anyway, that's it. I hope you all have a great day.